and look at some bird effigies today. Thank you for joining me if you're watching the replay. So today, back in North Carolina, have some good news there to be back here. So look at that wing and the beak on the right hand side there. So I'm going to kind of show you just a few of these little bird effigies out here and check the video quality after I'm done, because I don't have great signal here. So as you can probably start to see down below and all around us, we have a lot of these painted stones. A couple of them are already flipped over. So these are little bird effigies. Some of them are bird men. Toucan with a smooth face, the line for the face right there, the eye in the corner right there. See how it's just a little character. There's actually a character on the other side as well. So you have one facing this way, one facing that way as well. You see the eye, the details for the eye. And flip it over, it's probably birds and faces and other characters. It gets a little complicated on the other side, a little interpretive. Here's a great one. Oh, really neat one. Let's look at a few of these today, though. I have a bunch of them. Kind of took a few out right here so you can see. There we are with a little recessed beak on the left-hand side. These are just like little totems, little shards. Ceremonial pieces of some sort. So let's go ahead and take a little walk together if you want to. Oh, hope everyone's doing well. It's a little weird talking to myself, but I know there'll be some people watching the replay. So I'll try to keep you entertained. I believe this is a crystal, big crystal piece. It's painted black on the other side. So this is a large, what we call gateway example. Let's go ahead and maybe see if we can, oh, he's huge. It's just a big tablet. These big tablets are hard to get out of the water, but they're always amazing. Yeah, that sucker's in there. That's just a giant crystal piece there. Let's go ahead and take a little walk down here and find some neat stones and birds. So it's kind of a weird bird face there, you see. Really interesting one here. It's kind of pretty. Nifty. There we are. So bird heads in all directions. Oftentimes the theme is a bird head on one side and then a full bird on the other, like a bird in flight. Let's take a look at this gateway here. Oh, it's another really large one. So as you guys know, I don't dig for artifacts. I usually just surface gather. But if it's just sitting right here in the creek, I can grab it sometimes. Hey, bear. So here's a good example of the gateway examples here. That's the bird. You can see how the round belly sticks out where my fingers are. The beak is on the right-hand side on the top. You can see how the wings come back down here. So you're the first persons to see this in quite a few thousand years. It's kind of neat. You might not be recognizing everything at first, you know. When I point something out, you might not say, hey, that is a bird, because they had their own style of art. So it does take a little while to learn it. They had their own memes and things. So we're back here on site. I know we got some people in the chat now. Thank you guys for coming in. So we're back in North Carolina. We were down in Texas for a while. I was working and trying to work with the Galt School of Archaeological Research down there. And it worked out for a little bit, but I was working way too much in my engineering position to really get a lot done. So I've quit my job and I'm gonna do this for a little while. The colors on this, woo. Let's try to see what this one is. Look for the bird head somewhere. Hey, Artmanda, good to see you. You see the bear? Wow. Yeah, the color on this is kind of crazy. Yeah, whenever you pull some of these up too, the smells that come out of them, They like packed them in this clay, and they put fragrances and things in them as well. But as you can see, the lines and things on these. Let's go ahead and try to find a bird. Odd one. Hey Jason, good to see you. So yeah, now that it's nice and hot, I hope you guys are still going out and checking your creeks and things, getting out into nature. I always say in the summertime, I wish it was winter, and then in the winter, I'm like, oh, I wish it was summer. I think we all do that. So there's a lot of just these tablets here, crystal tablets. But let's go ahead and try to find some more birds here. Oh, big one. So this is another gateway example. The gateways over here are painted kind of on both sides a little bit. They have the cracks painted in black. So let's try to find our bird here. There's a nice face. So when you're looking at the faces on these, it's a little bit odd, I know, looking at rocks like they're portraits of humans, right? But just take a look at that. You see how the recessed face there and the nose is on the right? If you look right above the nose, you can see the eye there and the chin. And then you can see how the black represents the hair of this statue. So this is actually a very neat one. He's got kind of a big nose, like a crazy horse nose. And of course his eye is right here, this spot right here. So yeah, isn't that neat, Jason? I mean, we can just pick these up randomly like this, and every single one is one, right? So the squirrels are attacking me. But I believe that's our bird facing to the left there. So you see how the beak is to the left and the little eye there. Not really seeing the wings pop out and everything. I'm probably not holding it exactly correctly. But yes, this is a fairly interesting one. A lot of these you can't figure out all at once. You have to leave them in your common areas in order to figure them out. But yeah, I think that one is probably worth keeping. So we'll stick him up there. These large gateway ones are the ones that have the photorealistic portraits on it. And I feel that if I find 5 or 6 more of those, the ones that you guys have all seen, like the main gateway and the other ones, the girl statue and that little small one with the 3 very defined faces on it. If I find a bunch of those, there's not really, the archaeologist will not be able to deny it anymore, hopefully, but I'm not sure. I know that if I get to my old age and I don't at least give this everything that I have, then I'm going to be regretting it. So I made a decision to put everything I have into getting this done, which includes advertising. I just spent $300 on a radio show to advertise the channel. I got to come up with the ad. So if anyone's really good at coming up with an ad, feel free to send it to me. I could use the help. I think I might kind of have something on my channel description. More than likely the mammoth head here, but I'm not sure. I think it is. I can see of course the eye is very defined, and then the ear. Let's take a look for the bird here. Oh, weird. Look at that weird face, huh? Mr. Longnose. Oh, this one has the smell on it. Yeah, look at that eye. Crazy. Wow. Looks like an old person, doesn't it? Thanks for stopping in, Bear. Appreciate it. You been getting out there, Jason? Ooh. So if you guys have any questions for me or anything, feel free to ask them. If any of you guys are down in Texas or near the Austin area anytime, I do have a connection down there that can show you that the Galt site. So the Galt site is, this is a cute little bird right here. The Galt site is an interesting site because it is the one that dismissed Clovis first. So unfortunately, a lot of people still believe that the peopling of the Americas happened about 8,000 years ago. When we discovered the Galt site back in the early 2000s, the incised stones and things, they found Clovis artifacts, but then afterwards, when they dug deeper, they found more incised stones. So many of those incised stones actually have the same art style that these do. They're not just rocks with lines on them. They're that multifaceted art style. So that's an important site because they made every single history book in the United States incorrect. And they were allowed to do it. So it doesn't happen very often where you can change history like that. So that's what got me interested in them. It's a great organization, and they do tours of the site every weekend, just about every weekend. And the curator there, his name is Sergio. He's a really nice guy. And he'll show you all the stuff. So this one caught my eye here, just because of the textures. All right. Get to some light here. Here we are. Well, that's probably our bird, but it's a neat texture on that stone. It seems like on some of these they were also showing off their skills. I have some crystals where they're polished on one side, napped on the other, and then ridged for another side. It's like they were kind of showing off. Or they were teaching people what they could do with stones. Like the grafted plants that were found in here. That's all hard. The grafted plants are kind of interesting. Like they were trying to show us the technology that they had figured out. So it's beautiful that this creek bed is so low right now, and you can see how deep it's gotten. So at first, this creek only went down a little bit. We've had a lot of fallout from this construction site. So it's dug in and dug all this out into a big valley. And that's when all the artifacts started coming out. There were never any stones in this river, at least not to this extent, according to the local landowners, until this big construction site was built here in Graham, North Carolina. This one right here just caught my eye because I can see underwater here. It's a giant birdstone, a very large one, and it's a huge, oh wow, it's a huge head too, of course. Wow, look at that sucker. Let's try to interpret this for a minute. Gosh, it's huge. So I can keep on babbling on, I guess, a little bit about the history of stone art. So back in the 70s, you know, in America, this was getting a lot of attention. There were people that were researching it. Currently in Germany, they have tours that take them to these megalithic sites, Paleolithic sites, stone circles and things. And a lot of the art, the same exact art, the same style of art is there as well. It's all over Scotland and Ireland, it's all over Europe, and it's all over North America too. Many of us, what happens is we learn our local motifs, we learn the local styles from the people that were in our areas. And then we think that it's really just at that area. It's only here, you know. I gotta save this site because it has all these special artifacts. But then you go other places and you find that it's actually everywhere. Everywhere. So, oh, there's a yelling mouth character there. It's an odd one. Odd one indeed. All right, I don't know why I'm picking up the heaviest ones. Picking up the biggest and the heaviest ones. I guess they're a little easier to see sometimes. So here's a nice little profile on this. See the nose poking out there? It's kind of interesting because you see how the stone is shaped. But that's you kind of ignore the depth sometimes. It's a 3D style of art, I guess. It's very tough to explain. Kind of like one of those posters that we had in the 90s, the stereographic posters, or yeah, stereographic. You have to look at them for a while and then they turn 3D. It's kind of like that, but not really. Oh, it's getting a little deeper over here. Let's go ahead and go on down just a little bit further here. Ah, hi. Put the camera around. Sorry about that. Yeah, it is disregarded. And I guess it's tough to get people to care about it, right? I mean, for me, it's important to care about it because it's not only history. I'm not an ancestor worship or anything, but it's not only history, but it also makes us smarter. Solving these puzzles over and over again, looking for the bird, where's the bird? I mean, it's completely invisible until you study it. And then once you learn it, you can see it everywhere. And it's like everywhere that you lived is now a Paleolithic wonderland. I'm curious, but I think it is good. I think if they were enhancing their brains with this, may be some key to evolution, how we ended up getting so much smarter than the rest of the animals. Because we were training ourselves to do it. I don't know. It's all just speculation, of course. All right, let's take a look around here. I see some crystal gateways there. These little birds here. So this little heart-shaped bird is very common in North Carolina. Not sure which side he's on. Probably both sides. Probably this one like this, so you see the beak. And then this one, I do new. There he is again. Let's go ahead and clean his face off so you can see. Nice piece. So everyone, they're like, where's the flint knap marks? Why don't they? These are prismatic shards, so they have these edges on them. They are like knives, or hand axes, so to speak. So you can see how that could be used as a hand axe. Very neat. But the flint knapping and signs of tool marks are on a lot of these. But they did have a different way of making them than the more current Native Americans. They didn't make those flint knapped arrowheads as often. But although there are some out here. But who knows if they're from these people. The flint knapped arrowheads could just be remnants of other people that came later. So, as the story goes, and we all know how these stories go, you can't really trust any of them, but what they say is that when the Native Americans got here, all the mounds and everything were already there. Like when they recorded early contacts with the tribes, they said, yeah, we know about the mounds. We didn't build them. We know they're there. We always attributed it to the Native Americans, though. Now, of course, current Native Americans did make mounds, lots of them. But people before, I think, did too. There's so much down here, I don't know really where to start. Looking at this bird head right here. I like to take a look at these weird ones. Large packing for a lot of the harder materials like granite, of course. Yeah. Oh, wow. So these are like these prismatic shards, we call them, shaped like birds, like knives, hand axes, picks. Tons of them. So just the little bird on the end, oftentimes. And the way I can tell it's the bird is the recessed beak, the line right there for the beak, and then that round head never fails. So yeah, this place has a lot of these shards. They're interesting, but they're more common than the rest of these. I mean, that's a sword. That's a stone sword right there. Look at this, how long it is. Jeez. Oh. Try to get her focused for us there, sorry. Look at that thing. Golly, that's a big one. So. Oh. This is a gateway crystal piece. And there's that recessed beak again. Oh, part of it just come off, huh? These two take a little while to interpret sometimes, so I hope I'm not boring you guys. I see lots of blades and things in this water here. Lots of them. So there's a whole bunch on the surface up here. So let's go ahead and walk up there. Nice. This is a perfect spot. Beautiful. Here's some gateways. So I went back to my old place out in Clayton where I had all the artifacts out front. And you wouldn't believe it, but the new owner has kept all of the artifacts sitting out front there. They're still standing right where they were. It's great. I was happy to see that. So this cardinal head, the beak, and the crest on top is kind of a recurring meme. So, little characters on these stones. Well, we found some pretty awesome ones today so far. I couldn't believe that one with the photorealistic portrait on it. So that's really what I want to find, are more of those. Look at these interesting ones. Do you guys see the mammoth? Cardinal period. Oh, you see Squirrel Girl? Where's Squirrel Girl? Whoa, hey. Yes, that's cool. Wow, very interesting. Oh yeah, there's tons right here. This is a good painted one. Oh wow. What's it make of this? There we go, little bare face. Little bare face characters show up a lot. You know, how round his snout is and everything. It's very neat. Oh yeah. Oh, I always have my eye out for Squirrel Girl because I got a collection of 11 of them, 11 or 12 of them. And she pops out all the time. So as far as getting recognition for the art, yeah, putting together these repeating patterns and showing, 20 or 30 of the same exact style stone, I think it's not a problem getting the audience to understand it. It's a problem getting the archaeologist to understand it. So it's kind of what we have to do. The people know, they see it. So we can talk a little bit about the levels here. So all the stones are at one level. This isn't the best spot to show it at, but all the stones are at one single level, and above that it's nothing but clay. So all these little painted crystals, Arctic cherts, just stones from all over the world are in this one layer on this creek. And it all just became exposed when they did the construction. A weird one. That's an odd one. Here's a crystal. It's all black, so you couldn't really tell it's a crystal, but so you really look at it, if I chipped it, you would see it's actually a white crystal. A little tough to see the images on this one. Spotting the birds, of course. You guys are too, I'm sure. There we go. Yeah. I don't really have to go too far, but I like to try to get the most defined ones for you guys. I don't want to bore you too much. I really do appreciate you hanging out. I know it's not the most exciting sometimes, but every once in a while we get these awesome ones. You guys can start to see. Here, let me go ahead and zoom in maybe just a little bit on some. Well, that's not working very much. Sorry, it's shaking the camera too much. And we're hunting birds today. Birds and birdmen. Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, so here's another gateway piece. These are the painted quartz. So that black stuff on there, that's ancient paint. That's designs and... Oh, I might need two hands for this, sorry. It's just like a cave painting. It's just a piece of the cave that they took with them. I have no idea. It's a little tough to... I can start to see the faces, but this is a tough one. One that, these people carry these around for a long time. And see the little face on that? On the far left side. So they studied them and knew exactly what they were. Probably hundreds and thousands of images on these. The art just kept on evolving and getting more and more complex with more and more images on each one. Well, it looks like I've kind of moved myself into a corner here. I might have to jump back up. Let's come back around here. Oh. Let's see. Oh, it is nice to be back in North Carolina. San Antonio was way too hot. Way too hot. Some of you guys know I have a little parrot, and parrot can't deal with too much heat. So I couldn't really bring her outside too much. And I myself am a ginger, a redheaded guy, so I can't be in the sun too much either. Well, let's go ahead and walk down here. You guys can see how this creeks. These, hey Sarah, thanks for that. These creeks run all throughout these woods, and if you follow the creeks along, they come into little mounds. So there's little mounds surrounding them too. Right next to the mounds are oftentimes little ponds, because they pulled, of course, the soil from close by and just lifted them up off of the ground. These things, see a lot of these. I don't know if they're big mammoth trunks. They're just like these picks, these prismatic shards. But you can see how long, like I said, sometimes it shows that they're just kind of showing off on how long they could, how they could work the stone. Yeah, Jason, I surely am. I really am. But this could be a person with very long hair, if we look at it correctly. A statue of a person with very long hair. It's interesting. Might be one person on one side, one person on the other. But that's what we have. Pretty interesting, right? And just as a reminder, you guys can find these as well. They're going to be in your creeks too. You guys know that. Pretty much everywhere. But so far, this is the only spot that I've seen the photorealistic ones. Now, I have seen these painted crystals, these gateways. Other people have shown those before, but not very often. But they show up and pop up every once in a while at different sites. People in our community, I see them sometimes. But this is the core of them. This is where they were all the crystals are. I'm certain of it. Oh, all right, let's go ahead and get back up and traverse just a little more. I know I'm skipping all kinds of stuff, and there's plenty of things just right here, but I don't know. I feel like walking around a little too, I guess. I love how some of these they're almost iridescent. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm only in Raleigh, North Carolina, right between Raleigh and Greensboro, Kelly. So really close to Tennessee, and in Kentucky there's tons of them too. But the, like what my avatar is, the one with the crystal painted face, I don't find those anywhere. So the goal of coming back down to North Carolina here is to really explore some more of these areas and find some more of those photorealistic ones. When they're placed in the ground, they're often, there are caches. So there would be 5 or 6 of them just in one pile. And that would be part of a collection. And in my, in the earlier videos and stuff, I go through and show you where I'm pulling them out of and the collections after they're all washed off and stuff. But so the construction site's right over there. All the homes are already built. But what really got me going into this is when they scrape the ground, you can see all the little black fire pits. So they scraped the ground and just made it flat. And I saw the little fire pits. I started digging in the fire pits. And they had rocks all around the fire pits. And then inside would be more stones, burnt stones, and burnt like charred wood, charred cedar, and little arrowheads and things, little bird points. So I just went out looking for arrowheads. That's all I wanted. There's a great little bird stone here too with a big long face on it, but it's that same hand axe style. There's the left side bird with his tail sticking up. You could look at his face there. Kind of an interesting one. Probably, well, it's tough to say. It's tough to see that one. Yeah, a lot of these I'll have around for a while, and then all of a sudden it'll pop out at me. I'm like, whoa, oh, wow, that's what that is. I know it's something, I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Let's go ahead and dive down here. I'm going to shake you around just a little bit. There you go. What else we have? There's a good collection of them here. Find one that really pops out. These tree roots pull everything up. These roots turned into like little water slides. They're all hollowed out. This tree might fall soon. It's kind of neat. There's another one of those cardinals. It's a nice one, pretty, a classy one. Isn't that neat how they cracked it? Left a little gap there. I wonder what that means. Very curious. So yeah, you can start to see when you get to a different spot, sometimes the styles change and they turn into, whatever the local people at that time were doing, whatever the fad of the day was. That's a nice one here. I don't want to pull it up, but there's a good one in there too. These little plaquettes are cute. So just the tiniest little profiles of humans on them. Look how thin that is. Just a cutter. It's a very thin cutter. Really nice one. Oh yeah. Yeah, Gabriel. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Gabriel's inspired me to go live a few times here. He's always doing lives, so it's like I gotta catch up. So, as you may have heard, I think I told you, Gabe, on your channel, but I'm back out here in North Carolina. There's a cool little, I don't know if it is a duck head, but looks like this shard might have been broken a little bit. But you guys have seen some of the other ones that we pulled out, these long ones. Wow. Oof. That's a hand axe. Oh, sorry guys. Hey, Nightmare. Thanks for coming in. That's a cool guy right there. Trying to reflect his eye a little bit for you so you can see him. Oh. The little bird heads. This one has a very dug out eye, you can see. Get the light in the eye there so you can see the details of it a little bit. That's a cool one. Oh yeah, this is a nice one. Looking on the right hand side now. And then there's our bird. So some sites have snakes, some sites have birds, some sites have both. Sometimes it's just the person looking at it who's able to see certain things better. You know, I think a lot of these, this is a magnetic piece, I can tell you already, because I know this style. But this whole piece right here, see how, so it's a pretty big piece, but you see how big how easily I just picked it up. I know this material very well, and it's magnetic, but it is iron. It does have iron in it. There's our giant spear point looking thing. Oh my, these things are neat. I don't know, maybe it's not magnetic, but a lot of these stone effigies are magnetic, which is interesting. I was very surprised when I found that out. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is a great spot. This spot still has mounds in the woods. As you guys know, North Carolina still maintains that there were no mound builders here in the Carolinas, yet one of our state parks is a mound. We have Town Creek Indian Mound. It's an actual mound, and it's a state park in North Carolina that you can visit, but the state maintains that there were no mounds. There are no mounds and no mound builders in the state. The reason they do that is so that they can keep constructing over these sites, and it doesn't hold them back. So that's what we are trying to kind of fix. If you guys saw my latest community post, like, because we're not doing it out here in North Carolina, the companies are just taking over and just doing whatever they want to. They're destroying known sites now of the people that still live here. So, oh, I usually don't drop them like that, but that's a nice one. I'm getting a little, maybe I should switch hands. That might be better. Oh yeah. So some of these things do kind of look like dinosaur heads sometimes. So where that recession is, that's the tip of the beak there. So you can kind of see how that crest comes up. I don't know. I'm not going to go as far as to say that these things have dinosaurs on them, because I don't know. But I've learned not to expect anything. I never thought I'd see mammoths on these things either, but I've got them painted in color on a few of these gateways. There's a large heart-shaped bird. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not a bird. Just a big recessed face guy. That's a brick. All right, there's a whole bunch up there. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get up to that. So are you guys staying cool? It's super, super hot. Out here in North Carolina, it's 93 probably already. But it's supposed to get even hotter this weekend. And I was wanting to go down to the Uwharrie National Forest, which is only about an hour from me. So the Uwharrie National Forest is actually the oldest forest in the world, not just in North America, but the oldest, not the oldest forest, the oldest mountain range. So they have mountain ranges in there. And it's the oldest mountain range. And probably, I imagine, some old forest as well, if it's the oldest mountain range. I don't think they cleared out all of the trees from the mountains, but I'm excited to go spend some time down there. You guys know I have a bus that I kind of turned into a bit of an RV. So I wish I could get in there for the big ones here. I'll show Gabe. You're gonna like these. Someone was just, yep, someone, ow, cut that. So that's just like one of those things that comes along with the awareness that you get from the stones, which I know I kind of sound like a guru or something right now, but I don't know, Gabe, can you speak to that a little bit too? When you started studying this art and began to be able to see the details in the rocks and the stones, did you start to notice a level of awareness that rose in your, like in your entire life? Just like with conversations or with relationships or business deals and stuff? I just noticed I got a little sharper. Oh, happy anniversary, Sarah. That's cool. Oh, I'm wearing, well, it's like one of those sun shirts, so it keeps the sun off my skin, which actually is, it's good. I'd rather have something that keeps the sun off me, because I burn like 5 minutes and I'm already red and heat poisoning and sick. So I'm pretty certain that this is modern. I don't know for sure, but this pottery stuff is strewn all about, and I think it's modern. I don't find any of it like in the ground, so. But yeah, oh my gosh, looks like a bunch of rocks, right? And to me, it kind of does a little bit too right now. But these are big ones, and they're all the same type of stone, as you can see. So different groups at different times, we're probably putting these here. These are going to be a little tougher for me to interpret. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Hmm. I forgot the ginger stuff. Oh yeah, life is still a mission. For sure. It's always going to be, yeah. Here's a nice birdstone. So it really shows, you know, when I can pop these, I can see these really quickly is because of the back wings and the feathers. So you can kind of see how the wings are a little depicted. They're reversible in different ways. Okay. Yeah, a little tough to interpret, but there's a beautiful bird there. The bird head. You see him? Hey, Face in Time, good to see you. Check out these faces. A face in time is showing, and you see the thumb slot here where you can put your thumb right in and display it? But he's showing the things that are on the mountains. And we show mountain stuff too. We got some megalithic sculptures here too. But we're showing the tools, and I think collectively, you know, if we all put our research together, because there's no one else that's going to do it for us. If we do it, we can really get more people on board with all of this and raise their awareness. Beautiful. So of course these crystal ones are my favorites. They go very high level. There's even little painted characters on there too. So you can get lost in all of these. I don't want to bore you too much, but you guys can see these little hook bills, and oh wow, that's scaring the crud out of me. You hear it? It's the trees rubbing together, but that one is like leaning way over top, like I'm right underneath it. Let me get the heck out of here before that thing falls on me on a live stream. That would be the worst. Jeez Louise. Couldn't imagine. That would be a sign if that happened. If that tree fell, I'd be like, all right, I'm done artifact collecting. You saw the sloth? Nice. Who's that guy? MRE. I wish he would. MRE's a great guy. I talked to him on the phone and stuff, and he's found that, but I wish he would stay away from the giants thing and the government's hiding it, and it's the, you know, the pyramids and this, like, it gets too out there, you know. But he has found, I believe it was him, found a giant sloth, like a big effigy, big rock, and it's just, the whole thing is just the giant sloth. I didn't even know that we had giant sloths in North America up until a few thousand years ago. And then we had 3 different types of rhinoceros here as well. Yeah. Yeah, this tree's coming down. It's scary. But we had all kinds of wild ass animals out here. You could imagine how long you could live off of one mammoth. Like in your lifetime, yeah, camels? What the heck, camels? You know? Excuse me, I have to cough. Yeah, that's very interesting. So I think I need to learn a little bit more about the animals that were out here so that I can look for them in these stones. I swear I've seen some giraffe-looking things too, like long neck things. There's a big cistern there. Oh, there's the dinosaur rock. This is what the locals called the dinosaur rock. So we're actually in kind of uncharted territory here. I haven't gone back here before. Right behind a guy's house who actually kind of gave me shit for parking. Sorry for my language. Gave me a hard time for parking near his place because he had his lawnmower stolen or something. I guess he thought I was going to steal something from him. I'm like, yeah. You see my car with the veteran tag on it, and I'm just going to park right in front of your house and steal your stuff, right? Well, people just like to give other people a hard time sometimes. Cave bears. Yeah, well, we still have bears, but maybe big bears, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, there is a bunch right here. I can feel the carvings and stuff on them already. So when you look at it like this, it looks all crazy. When you tilt it, you see how that flat crest becomes flat, and that's that same style of bird that we've been looking at. So you take all those other juts and you pull them away and just show that one section. If I can get it in the light a little better. There we go. Curious piece. Curious. Just right on the end there. You see the details? Just that little nub. A little bird man. Yeah, he's nice. You guys can see the carvings for his eye there. See how the eye is coming out? It's very beautiful. Do you see it? Circles around. It's a circle with the spot in the middle and the waves. Yeah, that's Birdman. Most definitely. Wow, he is something. Yeah, just a little one too. Yeah, I start picking up the little ones. I don't know why I'm killing myself on these big ones. Oh, somebody left their Budweiser. Oh, geez. I drank that a long time ago. I don't think they make Budweisers with that kind of tab still. Sculptors always say the image was already in the stone. They just removed the excess stone. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yep, they accentuate and exaggerate certain features. Yeah, they were miners for sure. Stone Age, highly underestimated, I should say. So it gets a little bit more residential back there, so I don't really want to go too far back. But here's a cool one with color on it. Let's take a look at this guy. I see some of the red on him. So this is the gateway style. Let's go ahead and... So it's got that red on the quartz. Very cool. Oh, okay. Now I see you. So whenever you see that V cut out, you can dug that down there just like that to make the eye. Then your character's usually there. Very cool one. You guys are seeing all the eyes? Yeah. This is a neat one. It's got these polished sections. Oh. So you see how on the flats here, it's polished. Curious one. I can see the tail of the bird. I'm not seeing the face of it though very well. Like that, Gabe? Yeah. A little rosy face. That's a neat one. Oh, wow. Whoa, hey, whole new style. Now I'm awake. Wow. Okay, so this wasn't ever seen by me before. Oh, well, hello. This is new. This is very interesting. I have never seen a crystal, a gateway style that is colored like this. This is a whole new thing for me. Oh my goodness. That is art right there. That is some major art. I'm getting chills. We just found a special one, y'all. Wow. Oh, yeah, I like it. Oh my. So are these down here? Is that what's going on over on this side? Like I said, I've never been on this side before. Is that what we have here? I'm gonna go ahead and, I know it's been here for 65 years, but I'll go ahead and get that beer out of here. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to hold on to this one. That's incredible. So here's a nice little example of a napped edge. So you can take a look at it and see how it is a knife edge, a knife blade, all the way down it. It is a spear point or just a hand cutter. You can see how this would be a hand cutter. Very nice one, very nice knife. See how it fits in the hand very well. And more than likely has the images on it as well. Curved usually on one side and beveled on the other. We'll go ahead and leave that there for somebody. No one else comes out here. No one else knows where it's at. So I don't know who I'm leaving it for. Maybe myself for later. But as you guys know, I don't want to take too much from here. As we all have, we've collected way too much. Gabriel's collection's out of control. His whole house is covered. Jason's gonna be there soon with all his collection. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow. Hey, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. We'll make sure we stop by and say hi to you too. Yeah, happy solstice face. In time. Faces in time. Thanks for coming by as well. Yeah, I should probably wrap it up. I think this is a good place to stop, because I'm going to go ahead and walk back. I'm a little tired anyway. It's going on 60 minutes, so I'm going to be making some more videos, guys, so keep in touch. and maybe we'll take a look at this one back at the house. But yeah, maybe we need to find more of these and start a new collection of these. There was one I saw on here right off the bat, and it gave me chills. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So once again, thanks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.